Hello, everyone. This is Gia again here with Parent Voices California, and we're just starting our Parent Voices Unfiltered Live. So, just waiting for everyone to join us. Here's, I see people joining us on the live. Hi, Adrena. Hi, Carmen Rose. Hello, everyone. So we have some beautiful guests today on our Unfiltered Live, and we're just waiting for them to join us today. So I hope everyone is having a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I see Francis is joined. Francis, it would be great for you to request to join the live. Okay, let's see. So Frances should be joining us soon. She's also a guest for the live today. Hi, Frances.
Hello, how's everybody?
Doing great. So glad
Yeah,
that you could join us today. We have
happy to be here.
another guest that should be joining us shortly. But yeah, so we're just super happy. It's summertime and, different beautiful, great things going on for Parent Voices. And of course, there's
Yeah.
also, challenges like post-pandemic that we're still like discussing, making sure people
Mhm.
are taking good care of themselves. And we all have different ways of thinking about self-care, but just glad to have you here joining us.
Yes, got lots to talk about.
Yes, we're we're waiting for Noni to join us.
I
Hopefully.
love your hair.
Oh, thank you. Noni, if you could request, if you're watching the live, if you could request to join us. Me and Francis here. But yeah, so I know last live we've been talking about, summer resources, and I thought it would still be great based on like some of the comments and the feedback from the parents that we could, continue to discuss like summer themes for families. Um,
Yes. Yes, because there's tons of ideas out there, and summer school doesn't last the whole summer like it used to.
I know, yeah. Okay.
I know when I was little, we was in school the whole summer.
Yeah,
And like school, we weren't like having, you know,
like part
the
day.
fun. Like I just left my kids' summer program and it was really nice.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wow, they did all this for summer school?
Yeah.
Ours isn't like that.
I know. I know. I'm like, it's so interesting. Like for me, like my kids, like my twins had a birthday, my daughter has a birthday this month, and it's my birthday next month. So the summer is just like packed for like celebration for me and my family. So
It was a
staying
party.
really busy with, birthday parties for sure.
I have a birthday next month too.
Really?
Okay, we might technically be twins on the same day, you know what I'm saying? Just
Oh,
born, we were born very near to each other. That's cool. I know I love the summer too because there's not any holidays really in the summer outside of July, 4th of July, but
yeah.
just it being summer, that's like a holiday.
Right, I know. And the kids look forward to it. Uh, so let's see. Okay, we'll wait a couple more minutes. I'm really Tony will join us. We'll wait a couple minutes and then we'll start our discussion.
It's always a party in
A
the bay.
party in the bay.
I
I
miss
hear
the
in the
bay.
comments. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and no,
Yes.
let's see if Noni, sorry, can join us.
There she is.
Noni,
Hello. Sorry about that.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, there you are.
Ugh.
Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. I had a work meeting that took a little
Okay.
extra time. So I apologize about that. But I'm here.
Work can do that to you.
You know,
I just want to say we could totally be in the Essence magazine right now, like a cover. We have all types of hairdos and awesomeness
right,
to
right,
magicness and chocolate girls. I'm just saying, just we have
right.
it.
Black girl magic over here.
Exactly. Thank you both so much for joining us, and we're so glad to have you know other parents joining into the discussion, like with the comments. Adrena, Carmen Rose, thank you so much. But yeah, I'm super excited to have this topic for today's Unfiltered Live, which is family self-care during the summer. So if you both want to actually introduce yourself and kind of give us like, brief description of like yourself, your family, and your role like in Parent Voices, that would be great. Noni, if you want to go first.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Noni Galloway. I am an Oakland native. I live in Alameda now. I am co-parenting a 5-year-old little boy. He'll be 6 in September. And I am a parent advocate for Parent Voices of the Oakland chapter.
Hi, everybody. I'm Frances Brown, and I'm with Franimade Studios. I work on and off with Parent Voices and everybody that does all kind of stuff for, with the Child Care Law Center and things like that to just have a voice of advocacy and just pitch in when I can and participate. I'm kind of like a unconventional branch in the Northern California area, but just here to help whenever I can be here and just doing what I can to lift the voices of the parents.
Great. Thank you both. You both are so awesome and very involved in the, advocacy and parent voices. And we're just looking forward to hearing all of your great feedback and experience as parents. And me, I'm a parent of four, and currently, like, I do writing for Parent Voices and also this Parent Voices Unfiltered. So I'm just so excited to talk with different parents in the different chapters to see like how they view their advocacy, family, legislation, all these important topics that we all care about. And Parent Voices is awesome,
Exactly.
bringing forth all of this in a very beautiful way.
Excellent.
Yes, yes.
So,
So what are
so first, lady, um, so summer is here, and we know that summer can feel kind of hectic and very busy for parents. What has, like, so far, what's summer 2022 been like for you? Like, if you want to share any experiences so far this summer.
it's hot?
It's been a
Okay.
lot. I mean, there's, always, well, for me, it's transitioning, co-parenting, kind of figuring out, my schedule, his dad's schedule, trying to figure that out. And then, he is, right now he's in Pokemon camp. So, I had to, figure out, he was in a school camp and now he's in Pokemon camp, and then he has like a week off of camp, and then, just like the different types of scheduling that you got to put together
Yeah.
when it comes to, the school schedule. Summer schedule is a way different schedule. So I'm
Mhm.
sure, and, I only have one child. So, our blessings to all those who have multiple children when you got to plan
No,
for multiple children. So, so for, like I said, for me, and then, it's also, we got the things of, extracurricular, extracurricular activities, excuse me, so he started swim classes, and he's gotten birthday parties in between that and all the other things, play dates, and all the things. So it's I guess it's a part of parenthood. So I feel blessed that I have a healthy son who has friends and all of the things, but it's definitely keeping me busy on top of all of that.
That's good.
Yes.
Yes. I miss the days of having one child. I'll be honest, I have 6 children. So and their ages range from 17 to 3. Okay. And I've come out of my pocket for childcare for all of these children. So it's like, but through the years, it's just keeping everybody on some sort of a schedule. Everybody has their own personalities. Everybody got their own hobbies and whatnot. And nobody likes the same thing. So that's challenging, in terms of like hobbies and things. But it's a lot of barbecues. It's a lot of, summer cleaning, getting rid of clothes that from the winter and stuff. Buying them summer clothes that they're gonna wear them out, tear them up,
right?
And then trying to save back up for back to school. Yeah. That's what we've been thinking about. Somebody wants a pet now. That's a whole.
Oh my God, fur babies.
Okay. Okay. And like I said, summer program starting, ending today. Some of my younger kids, my elementary kids, they had a closeout summer program at the community center. It was so many kids there and speakers and kids screaming, and I was like, this is why I ain't gone to parties, It's so loud, but it was really good, and the kids were dancing, and they had apparently traveled around the world during their summer school program, so it turned out pretty good. But just like you said, trying to keep people busy and occupied and managing all the schedules, with, whether you're co-parenting, or you got to work with your spouse, or, it's just busy all the time, and just trying to keep the kids engaged is the main thing.
And then when they have the downtime, because you still work, you still got to do your day job, so.
You're a whole person.
Because you're a whole person, you got a whole person. So, luckily I'm, working from home. So like next week, my son doesn't have camp. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with him, when there's, when there is no schedule. So
what I did, my kids had the pool in the backyard, and they put a hole in it. So like the bottom, so of course the water's going to run out. So I started buying those balls.
Yes.
Make it a ball.
Hey, creativity.
Yeah, exactly. I love hearing all of this. It just, it's taking me to a place where I'm understanding more and more, like parents are dealing with, some of the same things, like scheduling and summer camps and, family activities. And, I have a teen who's like, just, once, I'm trying to have very structured time, so I think that's like one of the things I've been focusing on this summer, and just planning family activities, like, throughout the week, like the library, or,
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the library,
the beach, this month, the big thing is that we're going to go to the beach and, have some beach time with the kids. But these are all wonderful things to really talk about, what's things that families are experiencing that are really wonderful for us to embrace and feel happy about. But it's still, parenting is very challenging too, to balance all of that, right?
Yes.
I want to talk about the library. Yeah. Because the library has a program where if you read 5 books, like, you get this little book bag, okay? At least on that. But, Sacramento Library, that hub right there, okay, the whole network of libraries. But they say if you read, so you register your card, and my kids don't have cards, like the younger ones. So if you read 25 books, then the kids get medals.
Oh,
And I
that's
told my
nice.
kids, when you get your medals,
Mm-hmm.
you go back to school, because you're trying not to have them fall backwards, So I've been
Mm-hmm.
doing a lot of, we've been reading Harry Potter, Dr. Doolittle. I mean, that has four like 800-page volumes, and then everybody knows Harry Potter's pretty long. Which I mean, okay, those stories are really, really good. Okay, I'm not into that kind of. I'm not into. Is it fiction? But it's fine. The kids like it, and then they like these graphic novels that are like comic books or whatever for kids. So I've been reading through a lot of those. But once you get the 25 books, and you log in, register, have your account and stuff, then yeah, they get those medals. I want to see what it looks like. The librarian said it was pretty cool. So that's a goal we set for ourselves this summer.
Yeah.
That's
My
really
my my library, but or we're in Alameda, so we registered for as read 1,000 books before kindergarten.
Oh,
So yeah, so we actually
possible.
registered. Yeah, so he'll be in kindergarten in the fall. So we actually registered for this when the pandemic hit. So this has been our thing, and so they gave us like these sheets where they have like little circles, of like smiley faces, and it's like 100 smiley faces on a page. And so, and then of course, this was right before the pandemic hit. So we were going to the library, and once you fill up one of those pages, you would go in and they would give you a sticker. So of course, it's kind of been, of course, when the pandemic hit, we couldn't do that, but we've been keeping up track. And so now we got the pages. So we're getting close, so we can try to get to that. And so they would send us emails of books to read during the pandemic, and things like that. And so that's kind of what we've been trying to do during the summer, and that's kind of
yeah.
how we've been trying to keep track of our book list, and things like that, to kind of like, yeah, that's part of the things where I'm like, okay, we're going to do that during the summer, to get us there before the kindergarten hits this fall. So that's been our also on our list of summer activities to get him to that 1,000 books by kindergarten.
So what number book are you on?
We are just about to hit our 800th page.
Woo,
Oh,
come on.
Yes,
Is
yes.
it pages or books?
Well, I guess I would say the sheets. So we are about 100. About a little over 800 books, because
Oh,
yes, and so because we, like I said, we've been doing it. And I really
that's
count
good.
like the books that we read like at nighttime and stuff like that, because he's been in school and he's been reading books here and there. But we have that. At nighttime, read our books at nights and things like that. So we're up to like, the little chapter books. He's really into Pokemon right now. So that's his thing. So, and, him and grandma go to the library and pick out the Pokemon books, and things like that. So, and he likes Diary of a Pug, and, those little, chapter books.
I know.
well,
I've been
that's
really
for
checking out, like, because I published my first book, Gwenadette and Her Colorful Clocks, and I've really been, like, focusing on who's writing the books and who the authors are and the illustrators and things like that. And also, because I eventually want my book to be a cartoon, looking at who does stuff like Blue's Clues and stuff like that, and looking at who's behind all these different programming and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
and looking
yeah,
at how those cartoons are addressing equity or all the things that are going on, or just anything. They could even, a lot of the episodes will talk about childcare, or they'll talk about health or COVID, or Sesame Street's really good at keeping up with stuff like that.
yes,
So just trying to see how things are aligning even through the media and what our children are seeing. And I'm finding, unfortunately, sometimes I gotta review stuff before the kids do, because it's
very
some
much.
interesting stuff that you see, and some of these networks are showing a lot of interesting things. So even with the books, like I like the little graphic novels. I try to read them before I read them to my kids, so you just know what's coming, and
yeah.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
kind of
I think we're
a
I think we're
preview.
all doing a wonderful job, you know, addressing like self-care in our families, like considering, this is post, global pandemic, and both of you are just like excellent in like really describing like the things that parents have been really pushing for and making sure our families are healthy. So what like you both mentioned, you know, like post pandemic, what self-care is for families, but what do you think like the challenging part of like not being able to like go to the library or you know having to deal with more of like the lack of like the social part of it and like really paying attention to those things like for our families. Like how do you think of that? Like the self-care post pandemic?
I've been trying to do like designate each day of the week to be something, an activity we do at home. So for the last few weeks, I've been able to do dance night on Tuesdays. You know, we'll do water Wednesdays sometimes. Okay, because I know we're in a drought. I don't want to promote massive water, but I try to like offset the laundry,
Yeah.
like washing clothes and baths with the day we do that. You know. And then I also have family game night. So we got a couple of games that everybody can play, you know, including the baby.
Mhm.
Um, and I try to enhance different activities that we do, but also like I'll try to do one-on-one things with each child, which can be very interesting with 6 kids. But like with my daughter, it could just be, you know, trying on different chapsticks. Okay,
I love
girly
it.
girl, so that's very exciting to do. Dresses and chapsticks. Okay, so we'll do that, and then like the boys, I'll try to do step one. Somebody wants a pet, like I said, so we've been studying the pets. And one of the things we've been watching, and I know it's an old series, but it's the McGee's, the sextuplets, the
Mhm,
African American family.
mhm,
So we watch that as a family because that's pretty fun for them to see that dynamic. You know, like we're not the only ones with kids running around, and you know, just seeing how everybody does their different systems.
Mhm.
Um, but just trying to just engage them, you know, outside of the TV. We help. We made I follow this guy on YouTube, Smoking and Grilling with AB, and so his recipes, we will do those. We'll go through it, we'll watch some, and then I'll let them pick a recipe and we'll cook it. So just trying to do, and like you said, and then we got a hygiene box now. So just we talk about self care. The kids are like, okay, your teeth, your hair, like don't walk out the door with flour going up your face. You know, you have to go to school, present yourself well, you know, comb your hair. So just trying to get them in a routine for their hygiene, which doesn't seem like anything that's like a game or fun, but for them, it's something, you know, it is a huge part of self care because if they can get themselves up and brush their teeth and all that stuff before,
mhm,
that gives me time to, you know, do the same for myself, you
Mhm.
know,
mhm,
and not have to spend so much time helping them. They can do it on their own. So
Yeah,
that's it's a few
that,
things.
that's wonderful. I think those are like really great, you know, suggestions on how to like really think about like self-care and like routine and structure, you know, like making sure you have a family game night each week or, you know, like paying attention to certain things, like especially with twins, like
Oh
it's
Lord.
really a handful. Like they're already fighting for attention, so and then they're boys, so I have to like
mhm,
really like you know, pay close attention to like what's going on for them, especially after the, you know, pandemic. But they're doing really great, and I'm so, you know, like most parents, like, you know, I'm very happy, you know, to have my 4 children. But Noni, did you want to add anything about like the pandemic and self-care, anything that you noticed for you and your family?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess it's a thing where because it is me and my son, it was a challenge to have, that where it was just me and him. So having that self-care and having that time because, we were so much connected and, because, he didn't have siblings maybe to kind of keep his attention and things like that. Sometimes there was that, there were those moments where I was the only one. I was his playmate. I was his all of his attention. I was that person for him. So, me working and having to give him his space, my full attention to him at the same time. There was very, very, many moments in the pandemic where I, struggled with that, because I'm like, okay, I have no time to give myself any space other than when he was asleep, but I had to sleep too, so it was just like, it was what it was, so it was a thing where, luckily I was, blessed in a that my son, school figured out during the pandemic how to make it work. So he did, go full time in person during the whole pandemic. So, I was able to, not to really, he didn't really have to experience that Zoom work type of situation, or, home thing, and all of that. But there was those moments in time where I did realize that cleanliness that he kind of started to have a little bit, I think, because of all of the time we did spend together. So that was a thing that I, realize now that, sometimes when we do spend time with his friends and things like that, he is very much a mommy's boy. I think, he doesn't really like it when his friends give a little too much attention to me, or I give a little too much attention to his friends. He shuts that down as ASAP. So I don't know what that's about. I don't, and it's a thing where I'm like, okay. And so I definitely, being the, my only child, him being a single, the only child, I'm hearing that's a thing. So, and I don't know if the pandemic also added to that. He's 5 going on 6. So, but we've had some moments on the playground where I'm like, Junior, I'm your mommy. I love only you. Don't worry about it if I show some attention to your friends. So, so.
No, I mean, really, like, like we've all done like I think a really great job of like really trying to make sure our families and kids are taken care of. But I mean, the global pandemic has actually been really hard for people, and I think it's okay for us to acknowledge that it's been challenging and that we
Yeah.
all were able to get through it, and it was hard, and it's impacted people differently, like businesses, childcare, moms at work, working from home, the kids, doing distant learning, like, just different things for us to all check in to, just make sure we're acknowledging those things and that we're working through it.
Yes.
But yeah, I know, I completely understand different things like that. And I think Parent Voices actually just recently, the staff went to a retreat, and I was so happy to see them post those beautiful pictures.
Yes.
Jennifer, Blake, and Mary, and Marisol also. Like the staff, like they worked so hard, and I was just so happy to see those beautiful pictures of them having a beautiful time. So just wanted to say, different things like that really make a difference. Like especially working as an advocate or activist, doing things like really makes a difference, and taking care of yourself.
Yeah, because often activism goes past the 8 to 5, and you're thinking about that stuff at night. You're thinking about it during the day. You're watching the news. You're, you're seeing how it's impacting your community in different settings. And if you're being observant, you're observing all the time, and you're always thinking about, okay, what can I do? How can this work? What's the new laws? What's going on? And so constantly trying to be in the know is a very taxing thing, and then trying to manage a home and trying to work and trying to take care of kids and trying to balance everything and pay gas, gas in the car, do laundry, cook dinner, try not to eat a bunch of fast food, budget.
Yes. And if you feel like if you're a real advocate, if you're really about this work, you're a true empath too, so you don't take this information. You don't hear these people's stories. And then you can just like, okay, it is what it is. Like these people actually become, in a sense, part of your family. You think about them, when you get off the phone and you're hoping that they're having a good day. You're thinking about their children. You're hoping that their day gets better, that this situation gets better, that these politics, all of the things you get mad, you get angry. These are, we're humans too, and these are emotions that stick with us. And so, it's one of those things that, all of the advocates, all of the, the people who are fighting every day on the front lines for the ones who can't, these are humans too who take these emotions every day, and it's hard for them to do this work. And I, say thank you to them too, because I try my best to do as much as I can. But I know the ones at Parent Voices in every chapter who do this work every day. I thank them because, it's hard to do this. And, they are fighting for all of us to make sure that we're getting what we deserve, and making sure that the politicians who we elected to be there are, are doing what they're supposed to do for us. And so because it's painful sometimes, sometimes, a lot of times it's painful to do this work. So thank you, all of you. I see you, Mary. I see you. I see you, Blake. I see you, Jennifer. I see you all. Thank you. I see you, Clarissa. I see you, Tanisha. I see you, Nora. I see you all. We love you.
I'm
Yep.
told.
Okay. Because it's like,
family.
yeah, and even when you don't need it, you still want to continue to, like, when, like, I'm at the point where I got one more child in childcare, I'm like, praise God, but I think about all the money that I invested into childcare, all the time, all the issues I had to deal with, all the everything, and it's just to know that you have somebody that has your back. Yes. In the midst of all that. Okay, besides the other parents at the daycare, I mean, who, like, you barely even talk to them. You're just thinking, like, are we all thinking the same thing?
Yes.
But, just trying to work together with them, and I think one of the things that I've been experiencing with childcare lately that's really been weighing heavy on me, because I have 4 sons of my 6 kids, and it's just the, the racism and the discrimination that my children experience, they've experienced in childcare, at the childcare level, and at the, and even at school. And so just helping them overcome those challenges and actually trying to put that out more as a platform, because, I mean, it's not a topic everybody wants to really talk about, okay? But it is what's happening day in and day out for a lot of parents of, either African-American children or children of, color, and a lot of people, it's difficult for people. It's hard to catch. That's what I'm going to say. Okay. Because I can see it in my children. I can't really, I can see what their reactions are to how people treat them when I'm not around.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a matter of just trying to catch it. And so you can speak up for your kid, or just hoping and praying that your kid is around adults, other adults that can recognize that.
Yeah.
And then also trying to contain your emotions so that you can speak up for your kids. And, because I'm being honest, I mean, we as adults, you have to deal with it on your job too. You have to deal with being treated, it's not overt. It's not like, oh, hey, we're going to treat you like this because you look this way. But you can feel it, you can sense it. And it's just, I think I've been hearing, like, throughout some different places that racism is a public health crisis. And I'm really, I mean, I'm just really adamant about that, and really want to find ways to start addressing that, because when are our children, if we put them out in public, when are they first introduced to racism? It's usually at the child care level.
Yeah.
So Francis, I think you are bringing up very important things about, I think, how advocates, like, think about, like, the whole scope of, like, advocacy and activism, like things that we, really pay particular attention to, like in helping families, and you know, taking care of ourselves and understanding things about the system and how oppression impacts, you know, various populations, and just to always, you know, be mindful of like how this pandemic actually helps to translate, you know, how people respond to those things. So I'm very, I'm also, you know, very as an advocate, I think it's very important that, you know, we continue to pay close attention to those things and have these conversations that on how to continue to make sure our families, our friends, our communities are taken care of. And self-care is like the first step. I believe that's like the number one step. If advocates are taking great care of themselves, that makes that'll help them be better parents, that'll help them be better family members, it'll help them be better community members, and it'll help them to help advocate for legislation that um, that will help people. And I know we're actually, you guys, I could have this conversation with you guys like for the next hour, but I
Right.
still want to kind of briefly go into the budget priorities because you know the budget was passed, and I don't know if we can just like quickly talk about some of your thoughts about the state, you know, California budget and certain things about what you're happy about, certain things that you think we could push forward? We'll have just like a few more minutes and we can talk about the budget.
Well, I mean, I just, me living here in Alameda County and things like that, I just wanted to say that, I mean, there's money out there. I just want to say that, like we are not in a state that is broke. So
Yeah,
let's just
right.
put it out there, so let's just say we got the money. So let's
Yeah,
do what we're supposed to do. Let's get our priorities straight, California.
right.
I just think that's the one thing that needs to make sure that we stay focused on is that, the money's there. And then I just want to say that, here in Alameda County, we are, I am happy to know that we do have, advocates for childcare. We do have Vice Mayor Kaplan who has been uplifting, the infrastructure of, childcare and really supporting, not, the closures or, not closing schools out here in Oakland and OUSD and figure out how to, help, the childcare deserts here in Oakland and all of the things and, has listened to a lot of the childcare advocates. And, I'm part of a committee out here of childcare providers who she has listened to. We have done a ledge visit with her. So, she is, I feel like is willing and able and, to do some work, with the budget and all of the things. And so I am cautiously hopeful that, things might happen, but cautious, very cautious. So I'm just going to say that. And I think that, we here at Parent Voices, we know what we need to do. And I believe in us. And I believe in the strength of our voices that we will continue to do the work to make sure that we will get what we need for our babies. So I trust in us. And, that's where I stand with that in the budget.
Uh, Thank you.
Yeah, Parent Voices has a
You want to chime in on the state budget?
sure. Parent Voices has a strong foothold in their insight into the legislative process and their insight and their connections within the Capitol. And those are the imprints that are going to, I think, encourage the government to use the money that they've budgeted, properly and to allocate it and to track it and to give parents the transparency that they need in families and communities so that they can see that money is coming back and like feel it and, you know, experience it for their own communities and for themselves and I mean, even if I see somebody that or hear of somebody, and that's what I've been trying to work on, more groups within the school district and stuff like that, because oftentimes people that have kids in school or elementary school that have younger kids at home, and so you're just trying to kind of network and figure out how people are doing things and just getting out there in the community and asking people, you know, I mean, if they're aware of, okay, are you aware of the budget passed, or do you understand? I mean, and even the website, lots of the websites, like the legislature's website, you can see the bills, you can see the budget. So the governor's office is really good at putting all that information out. It's pretty clear. It's not, you know, not entirely in layman's terms, but if you focus on, you know, the industry of, you know, childcare, early childhood education, stuff like that, and then keeping up with the state departments and looking at their websites that are managing these programs, like the Department of Social Services, the Department of Education, even though they shifted some stuff over, the Department of Public Health, you know, agencies, California Health and Human Services, all these things. I mean, that's the larger umbrella, but just keeping an eye on these websites and on their comms pages, like looking what's happening with their communications and what they're in the media for, checking out Secretary Ghali, see what he's supporting. So definitely just making sure that the money is being spent where it needs to be spent.
Yes.
And the transparency, we just got to get on there. We got to check it out.
Yes.
Excellent, ladies. Yes, I just wanted to add, yes, their Parent Voices is excellent in really navigating, you know, the legislative process and, you know, keeping the parents informed about how they can, like, share their stories and their voices and helping to shape these public policies. So I think everyone's doing an awesome job, and, you know, looking forward to doing more work, like, you know, making sure, you know, the family fees are waived, and, you know, the pre-K, you know, funding, you know, the information about the funding is, you know, shared with families. So that's all very wonderful. I'm so glad you both came and joined us today on the live. I do want to mention, you know, Parent Voices continue to do work throughout the community. Just like a quick shout out to Clarissa. Her short film is like doing very well, and us at Parent Voices is very proud of her, sharing her story, and now have a short film that's, you know, been viewed and screened. And then also, Parent Voices have their, you know, the Unfiltered Live, where we're encouraging different providers, family members, you know, parent leaders in the community to come on and have these real discussions. And so I'm so happy to have this self-care for families topic today. And so I just want to say thank you both for joining us, and we will see you all again next month, the second Wednesday of each month. And if you're viewing, hopefully you can join us again next month, okay? So thank you, Noni. Thank you, Francis. And until next time, this is Gia with Parent Voices Unfiltered.
Thank you, Gia, for inviting me.
Okay.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you, guys. Thank you, all Parent Voices. Thank you, everyone showing up. Thank you. Yay!
Stay cool, stay hydrated.
Yes. See you guys next month. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe.